All right, it's AMG Hobby Talk number 61. So, we actually had a flurry of activity before I even hit record. And this episode is out of time. We're all over the place. But we're going to go through a couple of different things. Some of it is going to be a little bit out of order, but it'll still be information that for the most part you'll be able to use. So, let me go in order here. Sherry, how are you?
Wonderful. It's going to be a great week.
Amazing. And let me tell you, like, folks, we'll give you a snippet. We'll give you a little behind the scenes of the chaos. And I basically blame Blair. I can only assume that his chaotic ways have spilled onto everything else. So,
Exactly.
the collector, the scallops, collector people. Steve, how are you?
I am great, and by the time this airs, I will have come and gone or gone and came back to Kentucky, and I'm predicting I had an awesome time, and it was great.
Amazing, amazing. So this will be airing. So before I get to Blair here, because Blair is a whole issue unto himself, like diva treatment, demands were being made. There was a lot going on. But before I get to him, one of the things that basically came out of this entire episode is this is going to air the same week as Christmas. So in advance, happy holidays, happy Christmas, whatever you celebrate, all good. Hopefully it's going well for you. We will air it a little earlier in the week. The last week for us, by the time you see this, will be the last live episode. So I will give you a heads up that this episode is actually going to be the last episode of the year that we're going to have. So we want to make sure we at least touch on a few things. But then we'll touch on holiday hours and everything. But for the rest of the year, basically take through New Year's. That'll be the end of the episodes. And then in the new year, we'll ramp it back up. And we'll start up once again because it's going to be a little tricky with everybody all over the place for the holidays. Again, taking advantage of spending a little time with family. But hopefully you enjoy your holidays wherever they are and whoever you're hanging out with. Hopefully it's going well for you.
Yeah.
So go ahead, Blair. What do you have to say for yourself?
Well, first of all, I'm fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still not quite
Well,
grasping this whole when the show is airing, which I feel like I'm in a bit of a time warp, and I'm not sure if I'm going to miss Steve or not because he's here, but he won't be here, and I'm not sure quite how it's all going with the show. Anyway, I'm kind of
It's
lost.
a time paradox. First of all, Blair, it's a time paradox. I am a doctor. I am also a time lord. So, like, this is all perfectly normal for me. Like, the past, the
Okay.
present, the future, it's all the same. It's all the same, Blair.
That makes me
Doesn't
feel
matter.
good.
Yeah, like, I got this. I got this. All right. So, it's going to sound like we're rushing through it, but again, given the flurry of activity, and we'll give you a little taste of it, as I said, it actually created a little bit of an interesting situation. So, let me touch on one or two things here. We'll make sure we cover this. So, AMG holiday hours. Again, this is airing on Christmas week. So, what I'll do probably is I think given the hours, I'll probably drop this on a Monday. It'll be a little unusual for us, but that way at least you can have the full breadth of the hours. So what you need to know is that for Monday, it'll be 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Tuesday is Christmas Eve. It'll be 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Very important. If you're going to get your last minute Christmas shopping, 4 p.m. is the cutoff on that. Christmas, the 25th, closed. Boxing Day, the 26th, closed. Friday, December 27th, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Saturday to the 28th, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Sunday the 29th, closed. Monday the 30th, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. New Year's Eve, 10 to 4. 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. once again. And of course, New Year's Day is closed. So again, bear that in mind. It kind of coincides with mall hours and also the store hours and availability. So if you got any questions along the way, there may be delays with the days that are off and everything. So bear that in mind. If there is something time sensitive, try to either get in the store early or reach out as early as you can. That's probably your best shot of getting some kind of response in a timely fashion. So try to make sure you do that, and that'll be the best way.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
And in advance, so again, given our Time Lord status here and the way this is working, the trade night and card show went fantastic. I'm glad. Thank you for asking.
Yes,
They
it
went
did.
great. They went great. Thank you for asking.
Great turnout. Much appreciated to everybody.
Amazing. I couldn't believe that Blair wore that outfit, but nonetheless, it was a crazy time had by all. Unbelievable. Wonderful. All right. So let's get into it here. I'll touch on one or two things. We will, if we've got time, we'll share a couple of things that came with the job. Let me give you a quick background on the flurry of activity. So by the time again that you said this, hopefully it is dropped. We'll see how that goes. We were having a little bit of a controversial discussion about Parkhurst Champions because I had the understanding that it was supposed to drop the week of the 18th. So in the past, again, Time Lord, don't worry, we got this covered. So the point is, I've got a checklist. I've got a breakdown. I've got all the stuff. I will go over it with you regardless, just so that we have it. And then also on the live, we'll touch on it as well. But the point is that we had all that, but it looked like it wasn't going to be delivered. And then now we got some updates. Sherry, do you want to give us what the current status is in theory? That'll give people the chaotic nature of how this can change at the drop of a dime.
Yeah, no, definitely. As Carlos said, we were kind of in a little kerfuffle. We thought we had no product coming in. And about 10 minutes before we started this, I received the email with multiple products that we're getting in. There was a bit of a delay, and there will be a little bit of a delay, but Parkhurst is coming. So it should be here, I'd say Thursday or Friday. I don't think we'll get it tomorrow, but it will be here this week. But when you're watching, it would be last week. So we should have it in store by then.
Got it, Steve. Clear as mud. You got all that?
Sure.
Just call us.
Yeah. Just
Call
ask.
someone.
The best way is just call and ask. That's the best way.
Call
Now, in
someone.
addition to Parkhurst Champions, Sherry, is there anything else on that list that in theory? So this is all the week of the 18th. So I know
Yeah.
you'll be hearing this after the fact, but week of the 18th. But again, like the reason we're laughing is because it wasn't expected. I had seen in a variety of other places that it seemed like it, so we were curious if it was going to drop in some places and not another. Again, it made more sense for it to be the week before Christmas because that week I don't see anything dropping for anybody. It would be too difficult. So we were kind of curious. It's like, are you going to get it out the door? Because I can see images from the printer. So normally that's one of the things I'm looking for. Checklist. I've got that. So I've got all the normal stuff I'm looking for a product to actually release. So it looks like it's going to, as far as we can tell at the time of this recording. By the time you see this, we'll know the truth.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
It looks
we've
like
already
we're also
sold.
getting a very limited quantity, but the 24 Panini Black Football, it's a 24 Panini Crown Royal Euro League basketball. Again, very limited quantity. Then we'll have the Boston Bruins Centennial Hobby. I know a few people have reached out to me recently about that, so we will have that, or at this point, I guess we do have that. And then the Parkhurst, and we have a few 2025 Artifacts Hockey Blasters, and then the new one, the much awaited, the Fleer Retro Looney Tunes. So we have what looks like, I guess, the Hobby and the Blasters.
Mhm.
Nice. All right. Sounds good. So with that said, let me touch on one comment from the last week's episode, or 2 weeks ago. So Gotham Collections here says, great video. I will pay over market price for Blooming Waters Pokemon Premium Collection. Coming early in 2025. I must have one. Take my money, AMG.
We will
Thank
have
you
it.
as always. Thank you as always for your comment.
Accept it.
Yep.
I love that you've crossed over.
It's all over the place. It's unbelievable. It's incredible. The heady days of Go Sens Go have all changed. It's all gone.
Did he
Now
even
I
mention
gotta
this
catch
then?
'em all.
No.
Yeah, that's the point, Blair. Like we've seen an arc. Things
Yeah.
have changed. Now it's go cheese string 'em on. It's completely changed. It's all gone.
He's down.
It's-
He's deep down another rabbit hole.
It happened overnight. He doesn't even come to the sports side of the store anymore. It's right
No, he
over
doesn't.
to the Pokemon.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
So
It's
since we've got, as far as we know, it seems that Parkhurst Champions will be part of it. Again, it'll be a little delayed for you, but I will still include in the description a link to the breakdown from Beckett in terms of the checklist, team set. So we'll at least look at it and talk about a couple of these things. Oh, and also kind of a little side note. By the time you're seeing this, the Canada Post has been pushed back to work. So cross our fingers if any deliveries happen between the last week of the year before basically Christmas. From what I understand, though, and what we were talking about, it seems like they're not going to be accepting new things. If you were hoping for that last minute, though, honestly, it would have been a madhouse. It would have been a very bad scene, to be honest. I wouldn't want to be standing in line at the post office to try to get anything, even if they did. Honestly, get the stuff that you already have out the door. That's probably for the best. Please just process that and get it out, because people have been waiting over a month for stuff that's sitting in that warehouse.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it's not going to be pretty.
No, it's I wouldn't want to be them right now.
No.
Okay. So let me touch on here. Again, I'll include a link in the description to this for you. 23-24 Parkhurst Champions. So what you need to know is that this is an homage to the second Parkhurst set. So 52-53. So there's going to be a couple of things that are going to resemble that. I'll see if I can show you some of the images from the printer, because I did see some on Upper Deck's Facebook page. But let me just start off doing a quick breakdown. I'll summarize it quickly, and then we'll get into it. So here's your base set design. So what you need to know is that it's going to be a checklist of 220 cards, 30 rookies at 1 in 7.5 packs each. Of course, has to be a weird number. And then 30 legends at 1 in 15 packs. So there's a little bit of short print to that. And again, the checklist you'll be able to see in the checklist how it's divided, so that we've got that on there. You do have some parallels. I'll go through them quickly. So you got silver, you got color variation parallels. You do have different ratios depending on the base, rookies, and legends. So same idea. It is short printed as you go through it. Reds out of 52, numbered to 52. Blacks numbered to 10, and then 1-on-1 printing plates. So again, this is kind of a color variation here with this Fantilli, just so you can see here. It is a 23-24 product. So you do have Bedard on this one, so on the checklist, so bear that in mind. Although from what I've seen, it looks like the price point on this is higher, but not terrible. It seems the Bedard tax is a little bit muted on this one, but it is going to be higher than last year's Parkhurst Champions. Bear that in mind. So you do have autographs on here. Autographs are 1 in 60 packs. Jerseys 1 in 120 packs. Rookies are more short printed, 1 in 340. You do have patches out of 25. Patches, autograph patches out of 25 as well. Rookies here out of 35. Blue autographs out of 15. So you do have some variants to chase. And you can see here an example, an autograph patch. It actually looks pretty good. I like the patch window on there on this mock-up. So you got your numbered, you got your spot for your autograph, and then you got a spot for a patch window. If you get a patch like that, that'd be pretty good in that side of that window. That looks pretty nice on the mock-up there. Base legends are tough with autographs. So if you're looking for a legend autograph, autographs are landing at 1 in 720 packs, and jerseys at 1 in 1,500 packs. So it's very short printed for the legends on that checklist. Blue autographs out of 15, premium relics out of 10, and auto premium memorabilia out of 10. So you do have a full complement of inserts and parallels. So here you go. You can see that they've got, going back to the early, so they're, again, it's inspired by, borrowing elements of the 52-53. It's not going to be a perfect replica, but it is borrowing elements of that, and you can see that with the Iserman. And you do have some versions, gold rainbow, printing plates, autographs as well, different ratios, including legends. So your autographs here, legends, 1 in 1,920 packs. So you're sensing a theme here. The legends are super short printed on a lot of these categories. And red autographs out of 5. So this is an example of a red autograph here with Iserman. It's probably going to look pretty good. Again, it's a mock-up, but that should look pretty good if you've got a good spot for it. So you're going to see here a lot of retro-inspired things on the checklist. Legendary captains here. Again, we're using retro theme. You got gold driven, an autograph insert. I actually kind of like this. This is kind of a retro thing, looking more a little 60s and 70s. It's kind of this design. Well, actually, probably late 50s, to be honest, with the color scheme and everything.
The old drive-in theater kind of.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I think, Steve, they got the wrong part of the decade here. They're going, we're looking early decade. This is a little later decade, but the concept's there. I actually like, though, that they did this for an autograph. For an autograph, actually, this is a decent idea. I like this a little more colorful. But this one is one that I think looks really good. It's a mock-up, but on paper, this could look pretty good. This is memorable autos. So this is a Luke Hughes example on here. That could look pretty nice with a patch. So here's what you need to know. What it looks like is it's going to be 8 cards per pack, 20 packs per box, 12 boxes per case. The set size is 280 cards in total. The release date is supposed to be December 18th, so it's supposed to be the last week. We'll see how it goes as far as timing wise. But what to expect? You should expect 1 autograph or memorabilia card in a box, 3 52 retro style cards, a burn-in rubber Daddy-O flows. Again, we're in the 50s. I still think that's later 50s, but I think it's a little more rock and roll, mid-late 50s, guys. We're the wrong part of the decade, but whatever. Gold-driven or wire images, 4 of those in a box, 2 color variations, 4 rainbow parallels, 1 gold rainbow parallel, and 4 base short prints in a box. That's what you should expect in a box. It does include here, we do have a checklist here. You can find it for yourself. And all the variants. You can see autographs, memorabilia, inserts, and of course we have updates because of course we do in every single set now, it would seem. So we've got that here, some autographs that you can find in there. So you can find a full checklist, team breakdown, the whole thing. All that information will be included. We will include a link in the description for you so you can check it out more thoroughly yourself. It looks pretty neat, I will say that.
Yep.
Awesome.
And one more thing here, I'll show you. I was able to find this, so just so you guys can see. Those were all mock-ups. These ones are from Upper Deck's Facebook. I'll include a link to this as well, so you can see a little bit. So there is an example of the Bedard. So you can see there, that should be from the printer. So that's more in hand there and more realistic. There's your memorable autos. So there's a Connor, there's a McDavid. Yeah, I think that one has a lot of potential. I thought even on the mock-up it looked pretty good, but then here's an example of one. It is a sticker auto you can see on there.
Yeah, it's a sticker.
Yeah. But at least it gives you a realistic. There's a colorized version of Gordy. Pretty solid. There's a out of 52 Cale Makar. There's a Crosby, one of the rainbow foil kind of variants there. Austin Matthews autograph. Here's a Bedard autograph out of 25. So that'd be a pretty big pull. And here's your 52 Parkhurst style card. There's a Bobby Orr with a little bit of shine to go along with it. Another autograph. Here's a 52 style autograph with the Bedard. So you get the general idea. Here's your Daddy-O flows. Kind of a completely different style. Like we lost the 50s styling on this one, guy.
Yeah.
A little consistency.
Yeah.
That one's like a jambalaya or
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of
Something.
interesting they decided to go this route, but okay. And then here's a gold driven without the autograph, but it's got the rainbow foil on it. And then here's a burn-in rubber. Again, stylistically, I think guys, our decade inspirations are a little bit all over the place, but regardless, fine. And here's a gold driven with the autograph on it. So it looks like it is going to be rainbow foil on it as well with the autograph.
I kind of wish it wasn't.
Yeah, I think with this one it would have been better if it had been flat. I actually would have gone with the flatter one personally.
Yeah.
More sense with the aesthetic. Legendary Captain Jean Beliveau. Here's an original 6, Pasternak. And there you go. So there's a couple of images taken for the printer. So we're able to give you the mock-ups, and we're even able to give you some images of kind of what it should look like as far as that. And some of the big draws, some of the big pulls are there so you can see for yourself.
Well, it looks good anyway. I'm excited.
I do feel, though, and I could be wrong, but some of the poses look similar from other products, like especially the Bedard poses. I would have liked to have seen some different poses, some different action shots. So they might be different, but to me, especially the Bedard, some of the poses look very similar. So hopefully in the future they will take more effort to provide more creative action shots.
Carlos is going
Shade.
to
Great
Yeah.
feedback, Steve.
The
Great
shade. The shade. I love it. It makes me so happy. As a man of peace, I cannot partake in such shade. But nonetheless, I enjoyed it for what it is. So
Great
there you go.
product.
So at least now you can see at least a little bit of it. And again, if cross fingers, if everything went according to plan, then it was able to be released. Again, it does look like there's some nice stuff on there. I'm glad the 51 is the one that what they went with Parkhurst Champions last time around.
Yep.
Sorry about that. So Parkhurst Champions is what they went with last year. And this time around, they went 52-53. I actually think it's a little bit of a better look. So I think it'll work pretty well as far as that design is concerned. And you saw some of the 52-53 inspired inserts as well. Look pretty nice, I would say.
Definitely like the concept. Every year they're doing a different year. So the early 50s Parkers, were like pieces of art to me growing up. Just they were so simple, but what made them simple also made them very attractive.
Absolutely. Good stuff. All right. So I think we've covered a lot of the products that we were going to get into. So we've got that. So let's get into a couple of the cards that were shared. And then Steve can give us a little breakdown of what's came in the shop and also in terms of availability and everything. So we'll touch on a few of those. And then we'll call it an episode. And again, wish you all a happy holidays. So let's get into it here. First one. We're going to start off with a Connor McDavid here. Sub-Zero from 2018 Ice. 10/10 on the PSA certification.
Yeah, actually, that just came into the store yesterday, and it is Pop 1 as well. So that will carry a little bit of a premium on it. And it is, from 2018. So the card's been around for a little bit. So the fact that it's a Pop 1, tells me it's probably a tougher card to get in high grade.
That's a nice card.
Yep. I think design-wise, this was a good choice. Ice is usually pretty good about that, and they do leave a good spot for the autograph, which is always good.
I was just thinking, actually, that Bedard's autograph looked very similar to that one.
Yeah, a little bit.
Sometimes he signs his 98, sometimes he doesn't.
I think the problem is they're both Connors. So I think apparently they went to the same school and decided there was only one way. By the way, it doesn't look like a Connor. None of that looks like a Connor. Just throwing it out there. Second one here is a pair of Young Guns. So we got 2 Lane Hudsons from 2024 Upper Deck, and both in Gem Mint 10s. So you do get the base and then also the black and white version, the canvas black and white.
Snazzy.
Yeah. This one here I'm a big fan of. I love, I actually, when Steve sent this one over, I commented that I like paint pen cards myself. Steve, not so much. However, when it's executed well, if you got a dark background on a paint pen, it really pops and sticks out. I think there was enough room for the patch there, which is good. But then you got the paint pen on there as well. I think this is a good combo.
Yeah, I'm definitely not a fan of the paint pens, but like we discussed, the silver on the black definitely works. But sometimes when they mix the wrong colors together, it shows every flaw in that autograph,
Yeah.
where this one kind of hides it a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do look nice, and we've seen some issues with the paint pens on certain cards. So this one looks really clean. But yeah, I like the whole color scheme and the dark card.
Absolutely. And then here we got a Slavkovsky draft day marks. So we've got the autograph there on it. It is generally these are manufactured. However, they are they're pretty popular with folks that collect them because again, you're getting the autograph on there on the little piece of material. So it's kind of a fun one. Number 35.
Yeah, I actually sold that one the other day, so that is no
Yes.
longer in store.
Oh,
And actually, when I was researching it, I mean, I know he's a popular, player and card. I couldn't find many. Like, I guess people are holding them. There hasn't been many for sale. I think like it had been like 8 months since one even popped up. So it's sold locally. So always nice when a local Habs fan picks the card up. But then, of course, where it's a letter F, there's only 35 of them. So definitely a sought after card.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And in the veins, since Sherry mentioned it, one of the important things that we always talk about is we'll always showcase these cards because we think they're cool cards.
Yeah.
Sometimes they are already sold by the time you get a chance to see them. However, if you are ever curious, there have been times where some folks have reached out for certain ones. If they're interested, reach out directly to the store. Directly, don't wait until the YouTube comment section. Reach out, use the contact points either in the description or in the scrolling ticker there. But you can reach out and sometimes they'll be available. And if that's the case, then you can work out a deal and there you go. Just take advantage of it as a showcase. But otherwise, we're just trying to show you some cool cards that came in.
Yeah. And like we've said before, too, if you see something you like, reach out immediately because, if it's something you want, there's someone else out there that wants it as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then here's a 23-24 Upper Deck, Lane Hudson, Outburst Silver in a PSA 10. The silvers do pop quite a bit, and they can be tricky because they can chip. So in a 10 is a very nice copy.
Yeah, and this is now a PSA or a population of 2. It was a pop 1 for a while, but a second one just popped up. So again, he's one of the more popular Habs right now.
yeah.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Okay, let's see. I think I've got a couple more. So we got a Paul Skeens here from 2024 Bowman Mega Box. We got a Prospect Autograph Green. So Paul Skeens is one of the big popular prospects right now for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Numbered to 99 on card, which is pretty good. Pretty snazzy looking card. You got a little bit of the tracks foil on there.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think that's a nice looking one.
Yeah, and I think Sherry might have sold that on the weekend as well because when I came in the other day, it was gone. So again, that one was actually on eBay. I was surprised someone didn't scoop it up right away, but a couple young collectors actually came in and scooped that up.
Excuse me. Sorry.
Bless you, Blair.
Sorry.
Such
I know I got
professionals. Such professionals. My goodness. Anyway, so number to 99. So snazzy looking card. Again, in the same vein. Some of these are being showcased, but if you're ever curious, reach out directly because some of them get snapped up pretty quick. But either way, we wanted to show it to you. Same vein, we got an Obsidian here, Lionel Messi. So you've got, he's, sporting for Argentina. You got a little memorabilia piece on there, sticker auto on there as well. Bring in a soccer card for a little bit of variety.
Yeah. And I think the first Messi auto that we've had in the store, or as long as I've been here, and it went as expected. As soon as I made it known we had it, it sold right away. So hopefully another one pops up because he's probably the most liquid athlete you can get, or in the top 5 anyway.
There you go. And then we'll finish up here with a football card. So we go to vintage. So this one here is 1955 Topps All-American Autogram. So this was in an SGC 5 with the old label because the old one included the 5, but also included the 60. It had a 1-to-100 scale, if anybody remembers the old SGC. So the really old SGC has the 1-to-100 scale by itself. Then there was a little period in between where they would also convert it into a 1-to-10 scale. So that's the period that this one's involved in. So this one has been in the holder for a while. That means because SGC went off of this years ago. Today, now you got the black label with just the 1-to-10. But this one here is a nice vintage piece. And Autogram obviously was a legend of the early days, but this one here is All-American. So it showcases him in college.
Yeah. And that's I can't recall if we even had any of these, in the store. It's American based, and usually these cards don't even make it north of the border. So
Yeah.
I took this in on a trade, and I jumped at it because, of course, I love my vintage cards, and I can't recall the last time we even had, an all American 55 tops card.
Absolutely.
Great
So from an
looking
IPO
cards,
perspective, yeah, I would say from an IPO perspective, it's pretty good. Now, one thing that is kind of a condition issue with the set, and you can see it if you're just looking at the image there, it's got usually kind of a little diamond cut, basically, kind of a little angled to it. Otherwise, the card presents very clean. So it's one of those things where you kind of have to take certain limitations with the set. It's not unusual for these to have that. So just bear that in mind. All right, good stuff. Thank you, Steve. So some good items that a couple of those will make it onto the thumbnail that we'll showcase so that you guys folks can see that, but a little bit of variety to it. So, all right. So as we wind down, we got a couple minutes left before you guys open up the store. So why don't we finish with this? I think I don't remember if I asked this question or not, and we'll probably do it on the live anyway and let the chat participate in it. However, all right, what's one hobby thing? We'll allow you whatever. Blair's going to say Taylor Swift, but for everybody else, where there's a little drama involved in it, what's one hobby thing that you would love to have under the stocking, if you could? Go ahead. Let me start with Steve.
Oh, okay.
Let me start with Steve. Hang a card. Go.
Well, we did touch on it a little bit. Last time I said man-made underwear, but
yeah, but I want a hobby thing. I made a caveat. I was very specific.
I actually do like that wrestling product. What was it called again? The one that's we're getting in.
3 count.
Yeah, but I think Brad likes it more, so he might end up with some as well. But yeah, I kind of like that. It's kind of neat. I like the look of the downtown looking wrestling cards. They'd be kind of neat. But other than that, peace and love throughout the world, I guess.
Wow. How magnanimous.
I don't know if that could fit in the box.
I was going to say, jeez. All right, Sherry, you next. Go for it.
I want some of the Looney Tunes. I was just looking at the list of them and like the mock-ups, and I'm excited. A few PMGs. They have red, blue, green, gold 101s.
Oh my God, Looney Tunes PMGs?
Yeah.
Looney Tunes PMGs? Oh, good Lord.
Yeah.
See, if we had more time, we would have done that breakdown. We should have. We were talking Looney Tunes PMGs. Good Lord.
Yeah.
We need the
Oh my God.
we got a Marvin the Martian PMG. That part of it?
There is one. The mock-up that I'm looking at right now. It's a quick strike, I guess. Star Power Supreme and suspended animation. And
Star Power Supreme.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
That ties into our time warp theme.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's a lot going on now.
Yeah, Flare Ultra, Skybox Premium, Z Force, and EX.
Oh my God, Z Force for Looney Tunes. Oh,
Yeah.
Blair, give us a stocking, please. Save us.
I'm gonna have to. I suspect I'm gonna have to hide a couple of these boxes for Sherry. Put them under the tree outside.
So that's what I'm looking for. Some Looney Tunes. I've been long awaiting this actually, so it's finally here. Well, not here yet, but by the time you see this episode,
by the time you see this episode, that's right. So Blair, how about for you? For you personally, one hobby thing that would go into stocking. What are you looking for?
Wow. Yeah, it's been a pretty good year. I've got quite a bit, but maybe
Taylor Swift box set.
Other than some Taylor Swift swag.
Obviously.
Yeah, maybe I'm working on the 1912 set, so someone could dig out one of the ones I'm missing and put that under my tree. That
There you go. Sure. I'm glad they follow instructions. I said in the stocking. You put it in the stocking.
Oh, in the stocking.
Fine.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
Yeah,
Stocking's fine. Yeah.
I was gonna say put it in the stocking, man. Jeez.
They're
Sherry, it's a simple instruction. It wasn't like I made this complicated. I kept it very simple. Hobby thing in the stocking.
Yeah.
See, obviously, what I need in my stocking is I need a decent box of AEW Black Diamond, because I may have opened the worst box that has ever been opened in the history of that product and will ever be opened in the history of that product. I was offended. I was morally offended. I've done well with the rest of them, but that first one was real bad. At least I set the floor low. I set the floor low for everybody else, so I've been picking up my singles, but that's probably what I'm going. It would be a good compliment to Brad's 3 count. So as a comp of the 3 count, I'll take care of the other side of the equation. But there we go.
Good point.
So again,
good point.
yeah, absolutely. So again, hopefully you all enjoy your holidays. Again, celebrate whatever you're celebrating. Hopefully you enjoy it. Do so responsibly.
Mhm.
Again, we can't have too much scandalousness, too much craziness. Like, we have Blair for that. Let him handle that business. Let everyone else can be calm. Just enjoy yourselves responsibly, and then hopefully we'll see you in the new year. So from AMG team, everybody else, Blair, Lord knows, gallivanting wherever he's going to be. Collector the scallops, collector the people. Sherry and Brad off in the distance. He's off trying to pick up all the Alec Manoas on eBay. I can hear him. So for that and the rest of the AMG team, we wish you a happy holidays, and we will catch you in 2025.